Hey math friends, I'm here to show you how to multiply by multiples of 10. So the first example we're going to try is 60 times 3. So what does that look like? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating 3 groups with 60 in each. Now, I'm not going to draw that out. That's going to take too long. And so I'm going to use my 10 rods. So I need 3 groups of 60. So I'm going to start on my first group of 60. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, there's one group of 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There's 2 groups of 60. I need 3 groups of 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 3 groups of 60. Okay, so I just represented 60 times 3. I did 3 groups with 60 in each, because you all know that this is worth 10. You all use these often. So, now to solve it, I've got 60 plus 60 more, that's 120, 60 plus 60 more is 180. Now, that's a lot to do in our head, so if you need to come over here and write it, that's okay. You can go 60 plus 60 plus 60. Okay, all the zeros add up to 0. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 more 6 is 18. So 180. All right. So this is how we represent our multiplication with multiples of 10. Let's try another one. I'm going to put these up here to the side, and we'll try a new problem. Let's try 30 times 8. So if I erase this really quick, and I do 30 times 8. I could make 30 groups, and put 8 in each group, but that's going to take me a long time. So instead, I'm going to make 8 groups with 30 in each. So I need 10, 20, 30. There's one group of 30. There's 2 groups of 30. 3 groups of 30. 4 groups of 30. 5 groups of 30. 6 groups of 30. Oh, I'm out of 10s. I gotta open up some more. This 6 groups of 30. I need 8 groups of 30. So there's 6. Almost. Wait for it. Here it is. 6 groups of 30. Here's 7 groups of 30. And I need 1 more. 8 groups of 30. All right. So there's my 8 groups of 30. Now I've got to add them all up to figure out what 30 times 8 is. So this is 30, 60, 90, plus 30 more is 120, 150, 180, 210, 240. So all of that together is 240. So 30 times 8 is 240. All right, we can come over here. We could add it. So we'd have to add 8 30 times, or no, I'm sorry. We could add 8 30 times, or we could add 30 8 times. So let's do that. We should get 240 because that's what I got when I counted all my 10s rod. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Add all that up. All the zeros give me 0. Let's add these up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Yep. 240. And when I counted my 10s rods, that's what I got, 240. All right, it's time for me to show you a shortcut. Now, we always want to be able to represent with our 10 rods so we understand why our answers are correct. But let's do a shortcut really quick. Anytime you're multiplying by a multiple of 10, a multiple of 10 is this number. Examples are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. All those are multiples of 10. So anytime you're multiplying with one of those multiples of 10 in there, there's a little trick you can do. What you do is you look for your numbers that are not 0. For example, this is not a 0. And the 3 is not a 0. And you multiply those together first. So 8 times 3. I'll sing my 8 song until I get 3 fingers. 8, 16, 24. So 8 times 3 is 24. Then all you have to do is tack on how many zeros you have on the end. I have 1 0, so I tack on 1 0. And the answer to 30 times 8 is 240. Okay? Let's try another one with the shortcut. Now we know we always are able to represent these, but these shortcuts will help us. Let's try 60 times 5. We know that we could use our 10 rods to make 5 groups with 60 in each and count all those rods up. But there's also a shortcut. We can do multiplying our non-zero numbers. So we can multiply 5 and 6. We get 5 times 6 is 30. So we write our 30. Now we got to tack on how many zeros there are in this problem. There's 1 0, so we tack on 1 0 at the end. So 60 times 5 is 300. Let's try another one with our trick. Let's try 70 times 4. I can make 4 groups with 70 in each using my 10 rods. Okay, I could add 70 up 4 times, or I can use my trick. So 4 times 7 is 28. Okay. How many zeros do I have? I have 1 0, so I tack on 1 0 at the end, and that gets me to 280. Okay. Let's say I was multiplying by a multiple that's of 10 that's large, like 200. And I was multiplying 200 times 4. Well, the trick still works. You multiply your non-zero numbers, the 4 and the 2, and that gets you the 8, because 4 times 2 is 8. How many zeros do I have in this problem? I have 2 zeros right here, and so I have to tack on 2 zeros to the end to match. Okay? So 200 times 4 is 800. All right. Let's try another problem. Let's try 24 times 2. We can't do it, right? Not with that trick. This trick only works for numbers that are multiples of 10. There's no zeros in this problem at all. It's not a multiple of 10. So the trick would not work with this problem. Let's try 8 times 80. Okay. I can make 8 groups with 80 in each with my 10 rods. I could add 80 up 8 times. Or I can use my trick. My trick says multiply the numbers that aren't 0. So 8 times 8, I sing my song. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and 56, 64. So I write down my 64. How many zeros do I have in this problem? Just 1, so I tack that 1 on the end. I get 640. All right, guys, today you learned how to multiply with multiples of 10. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you guys. I'll see you later.